What is going on, guys? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Tuesday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. We're going to jump right into another 3-game main slate for tonight in NBA. Yesterday, we cashed in once again. The playoffs have been going pretty well for us so far. Bogdanovich was on both lineups and got 1 fantasy point, which is just absurd. That whole Jazz team last night looked terrible, but we still cashed in all contests, even with Bogdanovich on both lineups. So you can only imagine how well we would have really done if Bogdanovich got his normal, 28 to 30 fantasy points. But nonetheless, can't complain too much considering that we still cashed in. Let's do it again tonight. My playoff DM membership group is at a discount today, so message me if you want to take advantage of that. Like I said, we've been doing pretty well these playoffs. MLB, we got a big slate for tonight, a lot more games. Last night was weird. Everyone had Max Scherzer, and then a lot of the bats were just quiet. There weren't a lot of runs scored on the slate. There weren't a lot of games. So hopefully we can have a little bit of a bounce back on MLB. NBA, let's keep it running here, and let's get after it for all picks for tonight. So like this video, make sure you're subscribed. I do appreciate you for tuning in. I hope these plays help you out. So at point guard, Trae Young was terrible last game, but that price is just so low. If you've been playing NBA DFS all year, he's a guy that's been 9,000 to 10,000 all year long, so 8,200 is too cheap. He needs 41 fantasy points to hit value. He's averaging 45. It's going to be a tough environment, though, on the road in Miami in an elimination game for the Hawks. If they're going to win this game or even stay in it, it's going to have to be Trae Young. We got Capella questionable. We got Bogdanovich questionable. Assuming the chances are that they both play, considering it is an elimination game. But Trae Young's the guy for them. He needs to step up here. He needs to score. He hasn't really been good all playoffs, so maybe not a cash game play because he's been inconsistent, but the ceiling is always there for Trae Young. He's definitely worth a tournament play for GPPs tonight, but his inconsistency makes him tough to put on cash games, even at that $8,200 price. Shooting guards go to Dylan Brooks, still too cheap at $5,200. They bumped up Desmond Bane to like $7,200, which, it still isn't a terrible price. He's gotten over 40 the last 2 games, but Brooks is the best value here, in my opinion, on this team. $5,200, he needs 26 fantasy points to hit value, averaging 28 on the year. He's going to start. He's going to see mid-30s in minutes, and he's really their third best scorer behind John Morant and Desmond Bane. So, we saw a nice characteristic game out of him last game, getting 30 fantasy points. I expect him to get in the high 20s again in this matchup. And like it's been all playoffs, this Timberwolves and Grizzlies game has the highest over-under on the slate by a large margin. Small forward back to Mikal Bridges. He dropped down a few $100. I don't know if he's a tournament play because he's not going to really explode to win you a tournament, but he is most definitely a cash game play. He is so consistent. $5,900. He only needs 29 fantasy points to hit value. He's been right up in the mid-20s to high 20s basically every single game. And without Devin Booker playing, obviously the usage goes around for all of these Suns starters. But like I was saying, more of a cash game play because he's consistent. There's not a lot of risk. You can definitely fade him in a tournament lineup, though, because the chances are he's not going to get you 40 and have that ceiling game for you. Power forward Jay Crowder's also been really good, stepping up in the absence of Devin Booker. They've been starting Cameron Johnson. He's been very underwhelming for them in the couple of games that Booker's been out. Jay Crowder's been good. He's been really good, actually, since that weird first game of all the ones. Since then, 23, 22, and 28 fantasy points. He needs 24 to hit value tonight. He's almost averaging that on the year. And like I said, with no Devin Booker, there's just a lot more opportunities for these Suns starters. Jay Crowder's a guy who's not going to necessarily, score the ball a lot, but he can contribute to every single, stat on the box score. So Crowder's a nice, versatile guy at $4,900 tonight. And then for center, let's go to Karl Anthony Towns. He's been very disappointing this playoffs until last game. 42 minutes. He stayed out of foul trouble. 6 turnovers. He could definitely tweak some things there. It's just so ugly when he thinks he can just be a perimeter shooter and then, boulder his way down into the paint and just draw an offensive foul. It's been pretty ugly to watch, but last game he was really good, getting 51 fantasy points. He's one of the better guys to spend up for tonight. We have guys like Jimmy Butler and Brandon Ingram, who've arguably been the 2 best players in the playoffs so far. They're both far too overpriced now. Ingram's like 9,400 or something, and Jimmy Butler is almost 11K, so it's just unrealistic. Karl Anthony Towns being at 9,400 is very realistic, seeing as he could easily be the highest scorer on tonight's slate, and he's, not nearly the most expensive guy. So Karl Anthony Towns, especially being power forward eligible, makes for an intriguing look tonight, coming off of a great game, playing 42 minutes last game. That'll sum up today's video, guys. Let's get after the NBA and MLB slates tonight. I'm excited for it. Like this video, make sure you're subscribed. And until next time, I am the FD Guru, and I'm signing off. See ya.